Thank you, friends. I hope you are well. I had a good day today. Did a lot of gossiping today. You can't beat that. That's my favorite pastime. I love it so much. I don't even need to know the other people that we're talking about to enjoy gossip. You can just be like, you know how John and Christine are dating? Like, never heard of them. Keep going. Turns out, not anymore. I'm like, who else knows this? This is incredible news. Eleanor Roosevelt one time, she said that great minds talk about ideas and small minds talk about people. But I heard that lady's husband has polio, so bad look for her, huh? My work offered me a standing desk recently, and I didn't know how to tell them that sitting down was the only part of my job I like. I would give up my health insurance in a heartbeat if they let me lay down at work. Can you imagine being able to hold that over your coworkers? Like, oh, you have dental? I have a chaise. Which one of those sounds more like a benefit? Dental, I don't need dental, right? Last time I went to the dentist, he told me that if I didn't start brushing my teeth more, eventually all my teeth were gonna fall out. I was like, I got news for you, Doc. My teeth all fell out years ago. And they grew back stronger than ever. You think I'm worried about that information? I cannot wait to see what the next generation of teeth will accomplish. Those are gonna be unstoppable. It's nice being back out, being at bars again. Well, you notice in bars now, if a girl gets up to go to the bathroom, what she'll do is take a coaster, put it on top of her drink. Fun thing I like to do is take a pill, put it right on top of the coaster. She gets back from the bathroom, she's like, look at that, it worked. It's a perfect system, you guys. I was hanging out with a friend of mine and her daughter a few weeks back. My friend was explaining to her daughter who she was and was not allowed to accept a car ride from. And because I was the other person in the room, I was the example of who she's not allowed to accept a car ride from. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation. That's about the most uncomfortable thing that you have to agree with. I don't get a counter argument there. I can't be like, well, now that your mother's left the room, I think I have some very compelling reasons as to why you could get in my car. I think you hear out my side of the story, I make some great points. I can't do that. I just have to be like, your mother's correct. Even I may just be biding my time. Who knows? All right, don't pull back on me on that. I'm not stealing children, right? I'm a good guy. I was watching the news recently. On the news, they had a picture of a missing baby. Like, if you see this baby, contact the authorities, let them know. And I was like, you know what? If I see any extra baby, I'll let someone know. That's how good of a guy that I am. I've never seen a loose baby in the street. It's been like, doesn't look like the one the news wanted back. Good luck with the manholes, baby. We got more important issues out here. That was a bad look for the vaccine scientists when we found out that they hadn't been doing anything for the last 20 years, huh? Right, they had been working on the mRNA vaccine since 2001. And then the pandemic hit, and we're all like, all right, guys, turns out we're not going to be able to leave our homes until you guys finally crack this one. And they were like, oh, give us like 2 months then. Is this important again? Because we will stay till 5 every day next week and just knock this thing out. Doesn't seem that hard, but you put on a lab coat, people don't ask questions, so. I had a good pandemic, relatively speaking. I don't like hanging out at the hospital, so it was just kind of boring for me. Which I was living with my girlfriend doing it, which helped, but there were drawbacks. Like, we had to at one point address our standard for what was worth a conversation. Because we were having too many conversations. Like, we would be watching TV, and then I would get up and leave the room, and come back 5 minutes later, and my girlfriend would be like, hey, where'd you go? We got 4 rooms in this apartment, all right? If I don't come back with a tub of hummus, let's leave it up to the imagination what I could be doing. I have very few activities left, so. I got nervous during it once. I realized how much I was just kind of, zoning out and coasting. We'd be watching TV. That was the only thing we did. And then my girlfriend, someone on the TV would say something, and my girlfriend would go, hey, what did he say? And I'd go, oh, I don't know. And then she'd be like, were you about to ask me what he said? Until you brought it up, I didn't realize that I didn't know what he just said. I forgot we were watching TV there for a moment, if I'm being honest. So glad you're keeping me on my toes here. These are tough questions, and they're helping. Like I said, I'm glad we were living together, but we moved in together before the pandemic, which that decision to move in with the person you're dating, that is terrifying. Because you realize once you do that, now, to break up with my girlfriend now, I need to dislike my girlfriend more than I dislike moving. Unfathomable. You could cheat on me 6 times, if I'm being honest. You ever clean an oven? Preposterous. I'm not gonna put myself through that. I have self-respect. I've never cheated in a relationship, but I feel like I get it, right? I can relate when people cheat. Because whenever someone cheats, they'll say the same thing. They'll be, I thought it was gonna be worth it. Turns out, not worth it. Didn't see that one coming. And I can empathize, because about twice a week, I will burn my mouth on hot cheese. That is the exact same decision-making process, just with a different physical urge. It's just me being like, well, this is very exciting. What's going on over here? Oh, cause and effect. All right, well, nobody mentioned that. Now my week is ruined. I should say, we got engaged. I got engaged back in May. Thank God, got a new pair of pants in June. It's been kind of a hot streak for me. But I had to go buy a ring because her grandma's still alive. So there's not just free rings laying around. Part of why I was waiting out COVID, to be honest. Making sure she got the vaccine before kind of made that kind of purchase. But timing doesn't always work out on that stuff, so. But buying a ring is very awkward. I tried to negotiate the ring price, and they've got this really effective tactic where they pretend that they don't know about negotiating. It works really well. You're like, I like this one. I was hoping to spend a little less. And then the salesman goes, yeah, that makes sense. And you go, oh, we'll just move on from that idea. All right, I get where you're coming from. I will pay the price that you originally stated. I'd be like, I like this, but like, how can we bring this down? He's like, well, this ring is this diamond's conflict free. I'm like, all right, what if there was like some conflict involved? I'd like to see a ring with a tremendous amount of conflict, because that's more in my price range. I don't prefer someone had a bad day, but it is in the past at this point. So if I could benefit financially, that would kind of help me out. Common thing you'll hear, people who are married, they'll be like, I can't believe how lucky I am. I married my best friend. I can't believe I married my best friend. It's like, get some real friends, you loser. That's not how that's supposed to work. You're supposed to marry your wife, and then your buddy Jeremy's your best friend, and your mailman is your mailman. That's the system, okay? You can't just start shuffling those people around in your life, think things are gonna keep going okay. When somebody says that they married their best friend, what actually happened is that they started dating that person and then just immediately mismanaged their social life. And then 2 years later, they looked around and they're like, oh, you're my only friend left. You're my best friend left. You're my best friend. I'm gonna marry my best friend. That's how that happens. Another thing you'll hear people be like, I can't believe how lucky I am. I can't imagine a better version of my wife. I just can't imagine that. It's like, how bad is your imagination? You can't picture that person having straighter teeth and owning a jet ski. It's really easy to do. Take the person that you love and picture them owning more things that you love. It's a simple mind exercise. You're all capable of it. We got a dog. My fiance and I got a dog. My fiance has anxiety, so the doctor prescribed a dog, which was not what I was anticipating. It's more like bad advice that I give people than what I thought her doctor would say. But the dog's heart is riddled with worms. It's what she's known for. It's kind of her main feature. Mostly a price-based decision, if I'm being honest, but just kind of where the market was at, dog-wise. But that means if dog gets too excited and her heart rate gets too high, the dog will die. 'Tis the want of the worms, apparently. So now my fiance and I both have anxiety, but just about the dog, so it's a step forward. The main reason to own a dog is that so you come home and the dog sees you and gets excited and then you feel good about yourself. And that is not allowed in our house. I come home and the dog gets excited. I'm like, no, bad Mandy, you go lay down. If you love us this much, you will die. So back to the couch for you. That's your one trick. All right, I bummed a few of you out with the dog stuff. The dog's doing fine, honestly. They got Madison for that kind of thing. She's improving. She's a very happy dog, which is incredible because sometimes I'll hit her in the head with a door. And then she's still just happy the next minute. It's not on purpose, obviously, but dogs are always next to doors, and they're always betting it's a pull, and sometimes you just get them right in the skull. Doesn't change her worldview in the slightest. I'll say I'm sorry, but she doesn't know what that word means. It's not associated with food, so I'd just be saying, you deserve this. I wanted this to happen. You brought this on yourself. And her reaction is to be like, yeah, I don't know, probably my favorite person? Top 2, for sure. Sometimes he hits me in the head with a door. Don't know what that's about. Can't recommend him enough. That's... I don't believe in reincarnation, but if it is true, I'm pretty confident I'm coming back as essentially the same guy. That's... honestly, wouldn't surprise me to learn I'm on version 40 of doing the same thing. Just... not taking a lot of risks in life. Just spending the last 3,000 years being like, we're wearing triangle hats this time. All right, that sounds fun. Let's do that. I had somebody ask me what my favorite color was the other day. I told him that I am an adult. I've made peace with all the colors at this point in my life. I'm not still taking sides on that issue. Like, more things should be green. That's not one of my causes at 29, okay? If your favorite color is not one of the first 6 colors that you learned, you've overthought that question. If you're ever talking to someone saying, I'm a big chartreuse fan, personally, what was going on in your life when you felt that should be part of your personality? Same thing, ice cream samples. Is that you people? Are you the people asking for ice cream samples? Just stop it, okay? You know what it tastes like. Stop pretending that you don't know. See, all the time it's like, oh, Cash of Delight, is that one cold too? It's like, look. You've tasted all 3 of the things in that flavor. If you can't put the pieces of that puzzle together on your own, don't admit that to another adult. You're buying a nice cream cone. This is your moment of whimsy for the week. You don't need to be mitigating risk right now, okay? If you can't afford to blow the decision on flavor of ice cream, reconsider the whole trip to the zoo. Like, oh, rainbow sherbet, what does that one taste like? It tastes exactly like it looks. It tastes like a clown's wig. I've gotten better at that stuff at this point in my life, right? Like, I know how to order what I want in a restaurant. That's one of my skills. I'll let you in a future. If you're in a big group of people, it doesn't matter who the waiter makes eye contact with first. You can just start talking. You just yell out the good entree before anybody else can, and then you get to watch a ripple of disappointment go across the table as people start substituting out their sides to maintain individuality. That's the first trick. Second, order what you want. Don't order what the person you wish you would want. I've almost made that mistake before, right? I was in a restaurant once, cheapest entree on the menu was duck. I had a moment where I'm like, maybe I'm a duck guy. I could be one of those highfalutin duck guys, right? And then I left the restaurant. I know who I am. I'm not the guy who goes to a restaurant and only orders the burger. I am a guy who needs the restaurant to have a burger somewhere on the menu. I feel safe with that option. Know the follow-up questions. Medium rare, fries, I'm ready to go. I don't even know what the follow-up questions are for duck. How do you want that prepared? That really seems like the cook's call. Does he not know? Is he asking? I'm gonna go with like a chicken. That's as helpful as I can be in this situation. All right, that's my time. You guys have been great. Keep it going for Craig, everybody.